Hi guys, and welcome to another review. This time I'm reviewing something I got for Christmas. I haven't really done a lot with it yet. I've barely even flicked through the rules, mainly because I wanted to give it, you guys a little kind of review of it first. Now, this is one of the new sets from Games Workshop for Age of Sigmar, or say relatively new. It costs around about £20. Well, it costs £20 brand new from Games Workshop. You can normally pick it up for about 18 in other retailers that come with a discount. And the reason why I picked it up is because, having used to have been a big Warhammer fan, I kind of like grew. I don't know what the right word is. I suppose my painting focus doesn't tend to last very well on big units. So if there's like 20, 30 models in a unit, I might get through the first couple of ranks really quickly, and then after that my focus and on that unit will wane, and I'll end up with a half painted unit. Now that's just me, so I'm clearly more suited to skirmish gaming, where I can paint, I don't know, about 8 to 10 models at most, and then move on to another unit, so I can get, constantly change what I'm painting to keep me focused and motivated. So I was intrigued when they came out with Age of Sigmar, and they said it's a proper skirmish game. You don't need many figures, and you can just sort of pick up what you've got and go with it. Now, obviously, some of the rules and stuff are free, and that's cool as well. That was another thing I think was quite welcome in the hobby. But I sort of like some of the new models, but wasn't quite sure if I really bought into it yet. Now, they do the big starter set, and you get loads of stuff in there, and it's really good value for money. Some people will say it's quite expensive, but you get a lot on it. For me, it's not really an argument. It's a good, solid big starter set. I already got a load of Warhammer figures. Wasn't really inclined to go out and buy another big starter set without really dipping my toe in a little bit first. Now, I looked at this, and it's just kind of like, if you're still not really sure and you want to try something out, you like some of the miniatures but you don't really want to buy loads just in case, I don't know, it's just a bit of like a fad, and you like them but then next week you don't, I don't know. Basically, this is where you start for me, and that's why I got it. So I should open the box. And when I say you get everything you need, dice, which I didn't even realise you got on this. Obviously the bases, just points down a little bit. This bit's kind of cool. You get the war scrolls for the units that are in there, and they've all got, the box is slipping, just put it on my lap properly. So they've all got on the back really nice artwork of the units that you get in the set. Now, obviously, on the other side, you got the war scroll, so you've got all the details you need for the units in that box. Now, it's worth noting at this point that Games Workshop also released the figures in this box. I'll put these in the other bit. Or the units that are in this box separately, so you can buy them. I think they're about £8, something like that. So again, possibly cheaper from other suppliers. I could be getting that wrong, it could be like £9, somewhere in that region anyway. And they're basically the individual sprues that come in here. So when you work it out, again, you are saving money on this set, even if you wanted to just buy the figures for it. So I guess some people might buy this as like a booster. But obviously you get your this is the rules. So all the rules you need for Age of Sigmar fit into that, which is pretty funky. Let's see if I zoom out a little bit. You obviously get your how to build your figures, which I'll just tuck behind that because that's really not what we're looking at here. So I'm not really going to be able to tell you exactly what the models are, other than that they're either Stormcast or Chaos. But I shall move this a little bit back in. He normally nearly throws it off the table. Show you some of the detail on these. So again, these are multi-part, again to make it the pose is a bit more dynamic, and for no other reason. They're not multi-part in terms of multi-pose. With some of them, unless you've got a really good idea of what they'll look like when they're built, you might not have the imagination to be able to do that, but the detail is really quite nice. You see, that's really quite crisp. They are large figures though, and you'll probably start to see that a bit more in a moment. I'll get the other Stormcast out. So that sprue's got 3 models on it. This sprue has 2 models on it, I believe. So those guys have got like single-handed hammers, and these got double-handed hammers by the looks of things. Obviously they're going to be called different things. I just haven't, well actually I could be able to identify them for these. Right, so we've looked at the Liberators and we're now looking at the Retributors. It's fun, isn't it? Leave those over there. Again, these, as you would expect from Games Workshop, nicely detailed. These are the backs of the main parts of the bodies. Obviously there's the fronts as well. Yeah, very stylized, very nice miniatures. Now, just to give you an idea of how big they are again. So for me, these are, I think, designed, they are fluff-wise meant to be bigger. So they're not kind of like average human size at all. They are meant to be bigger. Let's see if you can get an idea of how big they are just by matching up that foot to that. So they are bigger than a Space Marine in terms of comparison. So I would say they're at least 35mm in terms of scale wise. I mean, I'm not really sure exactly, but that would be my guess. At least that. Oh, look. Yeah, in fact some might even be getting on for 40. Right, so now I have the Chaos. I'm going to try and identify which ones I've got first. Looks like I have got the Blood Warriors in my hand first. And it looks like I have 1, 2, 3 of those. Or was it 4? 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe more. No, it's 4 or 3. It's hard because they're in 2 halves. 1, 2. So there's 3 on there by the looks of it. But these, in some ways, the Chaos stuff has been some of my favourite, the modern Games Workshop things released. The Dark Vengeance box, some of the Chaos in that is just lush. And obviously the Cultist, but also the Chaos Space Marines in it. Just some of the detail. But yeah, I mean, again, you're getting loads of nice detail on there. And then these will be the Blood Reavers. And I have got the miniature that you got free on the White Dwarf. I think I did a little review of it previously to add to these. So these are in perhaps more complete in terms of their bodies, you can tell. It's like the odd arm to add on and the head or whatever on some of them. And there is 5 of them on the sprue. I mean, these, to be honest, are some of my favourite ones. I'm almost tempted to pick up a box just to convert to being sci-fi, because you could easily change the heads, remove the horns, perhaps put pipes to a backpack or something. almost post-apocalyptic. It's all about my chewing. I've got airwaves because, again, as you can probably see here, sorry, my voice is going a little bit, and I have a bit of a cold. But yeah, as you can see, really nice miniatures, crisply detailed. That hand has got a couple of heads. Can you see that? A couple of heads dangling. Lovely. So yeah, so you get everything you need to start off, really, without getting masses of miniatures that might overwhelm you a bit, without having to make a huge commitment in terms of financially to 60 quid or whatever it is. It's probably more than that, isn't it? I'm probably downplaying it. It's probably more like 70 now. For a set, obviously you get transfers as well. So for me, this was perfect because when I get round to it, I can build these relatively quickly. I can put them together quickly, and because there's still two forces there, I can still say get a friend round that maybe hasn't invested in Age of Sigmar yet and try it out. So, I mean, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Even just if you weren't interested, you just like the figures. Like I said before, you still save money on buying this rather than each of the boxes that you can get these in. Again, you might be able to get box sets which are more expensive, have more figures in them for units, and perhaps more pose or options. But again, for me, I'm quite happy just to stick these guys together and get a game as quickly as I can with them. So I think it's generally, it's a good move by Games Workshop because it means, I know maybe people that are working on a bit of a budget and they can't afford to just go out and buy a big starter set, or parents who don't want to spend that much money on something their kids might not like. This is really a good option. It's, like I say, it's affordable, it's 20 quid. It's just kind of ideal, really. And the figures, like I say, I like the figures in it. And would you complain about getting figures that size and that number for 20 quid? I don't think so. And you get the game as well. So for me, all round, good value and a good move by Games Workshop. But I know not everybody will agree. So, you know, get on those comments below and let me know what you think of this small starter set and what you think of Age of Sigmar so far. I'm open to all opinions because I haven't even tried it yet, so this is a completely new thing for me. Anyways, come and join us on Random Platypus on the forum and discuss it there as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye now.